Welcome back to PloopAChoop, everyone. I'm your host, Dylan, and on this very first episode of Break the Backlog, we look at the brand new offering from a small French team known as BlueTwelve Studio and publisher Annapurna Interactive, Stray. This is the publisher responsible for other games such as the award-winning Outer Wilds, What Remains of Edith Finch, and a game that we played on our channel last year, 12 Minutes. Stray marks the second release of 2022 for Annapurna, following about a month behind Neon White, and it has definitely managed to have a new take on what a protagonist can be. Thank you for checking out the channel. Make sure you like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe for more content like this. And without further ado, these are my thoughts on Stray. Before we get too far into the review, I just want to talk a little bit about the game's narrative. So if you were to ask my Twitch chat, they would probably tell you that Stray is about a small orange cat named Vector, who we named after a month of stupid rich minion memes. He's out to steal the moon. It was dumb, I'm sorry. But what the game is actually about is a small nameless orange cat who lives in the outside. This area was once inhabited by humans and has seemingly been reclaimed by nature. Rusted metal structures are covered in greenery, and the creations of man have been all but forgotten. Our little nameless cat spends the opening minutes of this game with his little cat pack. It's great, you know, we're with friends. Having all these cats at our back will make this empty world so much less empty. Oh no! Brothers! Our cat falls into the void below and his friends look on, which is pretty wild considering that we're supposed to be homies, but nope, they're just like, that's tough, and then they move on. Stray is a third-person adventure game in which a small stray cat must find its way home by traversing a cyberpunk dystopian sort of world below the surface. I'm going to keep referring to this as a cyberpunk world, but to be honest, this seems as more of a world that the cyberpunk setting would lead to. Humans are gone, all that remains is traces of their creations, like the technology that they created. This doesn't mean the cat will venture alone, and we'll meet a friendly drone on our way that'll accompany us back to the outside. I don't want to spoil anything else for you guys, but just know that this story has wonderful themes of friendship, adventure, and humanity without there actually being any humans. So you may be wondering, what do you actually do as a small cat in a big cyber world? Well, the gameplay is actually pretty simple. You and B12 gather information about how you can reach your ultimate goal of getting to the outside, and you help droids along the way so that they can help you in turn. You mostly traverse the city high and low, following a quest line until it requires you to stop and explore a bit. Maybe you have to find an item to keep going, but wait, a grumpy shopkeeper won't let you steal a clothing item to continue. Well, now you have to find a distraction, so the exploration begins. This loop works pretty well as the classic adventure, hit a plot wall, explore, solve puzzles, or gather something, rinse and repeat. It's simple, but not at all in a bad way. You see, we're limited by the physical limitations of being a cat, and so busting down doors with a shotgun isn't going to be the answer. No. CyberCat 2077 asks us to look for a cat's answers to our problems. While we may be limited as a cat, we also get a cat's acrobatic strength. This means running from enemies instead of mowing them down, but it also means climbing through open windows into areas that a GigaChat Protag couldn't reach without a fight. Stray also has some totally optional but immersive cat activities that you can take part in while navigating this cyberpunk underbelly. These come by way of small pools that the cat can drink from, areas that the cat can scratch up like rugs or furniture, and places where music is just a vibe and you can lay down and take a load off. These don't actually add anything to the story of the game, but they're fun little add-ons that make the experience more immersive. It seems like something a cat would do, that while they're trying to save a friend who has just disappeared, to just lay down and say, yeah, I'm taking a nap. These little moments add flavor and immersion to the game and realism as the cat kind of gets distracted by the smallest of activities. Either that or my ADHD just makes me more prone to distractions, and I actually have more in common with cats than I think. Overall, the gameplay loop here is simple, but integrated well, and it makes sense within the narrative that Stray is attempting to tell. Stray's art style is beautiful. I just want to get that out of the way. This game is gorgeous. One of my favorite bits of this game is how the city environments are full of crime and oppression, violence, homelessness, fear, but all around these dark times is a bright neon vignette of vibrant color. It's almost as if the lighting is used in juxtaposition to the dark undertones of the city. This game's use of colors is brilliant in that it clashes with its dystopian backgrounds, and there's nothing more panicking than running through a dark alleyway with the orange glow of alien nematodes lighting your way as they chase you down, nipping at your cat paws. Another fun little detail is that the droids have monitors that display their current emotional state, which I found pretty comical and reminded me a bit of the Saga comic series, which I started not too long ago. Seeing these droids continuing to exhibit human behavior long after their creators had fallen was fascinating, even down to a barber shop being opened that we found on stream for robots to go to and have their heads tightened and polished. As far as the cat goes, I feel like it does move and react realistically. I've never owned a cat, but I mean, I've seen them in the wild, as they say. And I said on stream that it was nice to just be playing as a normal stray cat. I'm so happy that we don't have cybernetic augments or superpowers or anything like that, really. The team opted to have us play as an average cat, and it made the challenges and obstacles feel more realistic. You know, they could have just made us some rocket-armed cat, destroying our way through the city, taking no prisoners, burning it all to the ground. But no, we already have games like that, I think. But I think taking the approach with presenting us as a cute little orange furball who's not really particularly gifted in any way, it allowed us to just solve puzzles within a cat's realm of possibilities, and that was a unique choice that I think really paid off. I also want to give praise to the sound design in general, but in particular, the music. As I said before, this game has areas where you can just lay down and take a nap. The camera zooms out, our little cat purrs and snores softly as the music is just doing its thing in the background. It really made me stop and admire the soundtrack, and I'm not sure if that was the intention in these areas, but if it was, it worked, and if it wasn't, it still worked. The soundtrack is full of songs that feature synth sounds you would expect to see in a game set in this sort of future. There's whimsical songs that evoke feelings of wonder and curiosity as our little cat wanders through this unknown world. There are songs that rely more on percussion-based instruments like a xylophone or marimba, and they almost seem to echo the loneliness of our journey as we are the only cat in a sea of droids. The music here was extremely well made, and it paired nicely with the visual world of Stray, being a dark, gritty, beautifully neon-lit world that just begs to be explored, and I felt like the studio nailed the art style for this title. Overall, Stray offers a unique adventure for players to partake in, and while not the longest game in the world, it makes the absolute most of its playtime. From the beautiful underworld we play through to the attention to detail like the scratching posts or vibe spots where a soft purring could be heard as our cat unwinds, Stray does a whole lot right, and it really didn't miss for me. The way the soundtrack seems to mimic the emotions that must be felt in a particular setting, the misleadingly beautiful glow of the cities, the realism of the cat's movements that make gameplay more immersive, it just works, and I feel like it works because of the unique direction of the story. I'm excited to see what the studio will do in the future. If you want to try Stray, I would highly recommend it, and you can check it out on PS4, PS5, and PC. Thank you so much for checking out this first episode of Break the Backlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me what you thought in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until the next video, thank you so much. Peace.